Hi everybody, this is Phil Tucker. I've just released the sequel to my lit RPG novel Death March, and you can find Nightmare Keep up on Amazon. It's in Kindle Unlimited, and I hope you guys give it a shot. Thanks very much. Bye.
Warning, the following may contain beholders. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced. After having had their fortunes read by Madame Eva and failing to procure any magic items from the hag Jenny Greenteeth, the party prepares to make their next move.
Let's head back to the campfire. Guys, what's while they're having that chat over at the tree as the sun is setting, what are you guys up to?
Well, I thought that she was interested in me, and it turns out that she was interested in playing a game of chance, and so I may have lost a small sum of money, and I think we should leave.
Okay. As this is happening there, as the game of chance is going on, Kellen, what are you up to?
Drinking.
So as you're drinking, you're sort of just taking in what the rest of the Vistani are doing. They're having a good time. It's maybe reminding you of any good times back home. You can tell there's a lot of storytelling going on. So while Jean is losing his money to the accordion player, one of the...
I'm actually losing all of our money, just to be clear. So.
One of the older female Vistani get up and start telling a tale a bit louder than the rest, and quite a few of her her family are listening to her, and you kind of catch the tale. A mighty wizard came to this land over a year ago. I remember him. Over 10 years ago. I remember him like it was yesterday. He stood exactly where you are standing right now, strange barbarian man. A very charismatic man he was. He thought he could rally the people of Barovia against the devil Strahd. He stirred them with thoughts of revolt and bore them to the castle en masse. When the vampire appeared, the wizard's peasant army fled in terror. A few stood their ground and were never seen again. The wizard and the vampire cast spells at each other. Their battle flew from the courtyards of Ravenloft to a precipice overlooking the falls just to the west of where we are now. I saw the battle with my own eyes. Thunder shook the mountainside, and great rocks tumbled down upon the wizard. Yet by his magic he survived. Lightning from the heavens struck the wizard, and again he stood his ground. But when the devil Strahd fell upon him, the wizard's magic could not save him. I saw him thrown 1,000 feet to his death. I climbed down to the river to search for the wizard's body, to see if he had anything of value. But the river Ivlis had already spirited him away. And the rest, rest of the Vistani, who were all, wrapped by the story, they give a howls of applause, and they get up and someone pours her a drink and they congratulate her. It's obviously a tale they've heard before, but they were certainly able to appreciate it being told.
It's the sort of tale that makes you forget about small debts. Let's have a good time.
Where's this river?
Which you're right beside the river.
We are beside the river?
Yeah, the camp is right beside the river. So
this is the river that the wizard was thrown into?
And so Irina does, because she's sitting there and she says, yes, this is the river Ivlis. This is the river in the story, yes.
Does it lead to a lake or come from a lake?
Ismark, there is a small pool off to the west. Is that right? And Ismark, nods in agreement. You can see he's looking. He says, "Yes, I believe Father told me that there is a small would I call it a lake? It is not as big as the lake at Velaki. Has the behind Velaki is Lake Sarovic, and that is the largest lake in Barovia. But the Zer pool just to the west of here, it is not insignificant.
Is there a tower? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not even here.
Is there a tower?
I've never been. I've certainly never heard of a tower there before.
Is there a tower on Zer Pool?
Zer pool just to the west of here? I do not believe so. And I've not heard of a tower over at Lake Sarovic either.
How far is Zer Pool from here?
I do not know. And he asks one of the Vistani, and the Vistani says maybe about an hour's walk to the west. But it is getting dark. I do not know. It would be a good idea for you to make the journey in the dark.
Can we go by boat? I mean, like, why walk when you can just float, right?
There are no boats.
There are no boats. All right.
But where can we go? I mean, I'm sorry, I'm still not here, but where can we go?
Come on back. Yep, come on back. You guys can make back.
Okay.
Hello, I won a lot of money. We've been having a great time.
It's getting dark. We should maybe go somewhere, because I think we're not welcome here.
Well,
I think we should get going, I think. But I do remember somebody warning us about the pool.
Yes, I remember that too. I think we should steal 4 horses, 3 you can walk, and be on our way.
Maybe we shouldn't steal anything from these people.
I am
think we've
not going to
angered
steal
them enough.
anything. I think I've already burned my bridges with the Vistani.
Well, that's the whole point. I mean, if the bridge is on fire, why not steal a horse?
Have at it.
All right, fine. We'll walk like peasants.
okay.
But where will we walk to?
So
There
guys,
pools.
you took a sort of a northerly road, a north leading road to get here, but you left the main road, the Sphalic road, the one that leads to the other settlements, basically in Barovia. You've left it. It's back to the south of where you are. So you would have to retrace your steps to get back onto the main road. However, if you were looking to further explore the pools that were in the story, that's off to the west. That's kind of following the smaller, almost like a dirt path leading from the Vistani camp.
I say we take it.
Supposed to be where the village is drowned.
Might be.
Someone had mentioned it earlier, so it has to be something of significance, I think.
I think either way, we're going to get in trouble walking around at night, right?
Yeah.
But we can't stay here.
Well, but can't we? I mean, there's a lot of like people for the baddies to eat. We could just stay here.
It's
We
the other
we
Vistani
have
that are
not
coming.
many spells left. We don't have any potions. We don't have much food. We're all very tired. No magic weapons. We don't have a plan. Am I forgetting anything? We're just going to walk out into the semi-gloom and hope for the best?
There's a bunch of Vistani on our trail who are going to kill us.
Mm.
And we're probably not better served by resting with the Stani who will turn against us.
Oh, yes, that's a good point. So we should steal the horses. Fine, let's run. Let's run, everyone run.
So where are we heading,
Sean
guys?
takes off into the...
Down the dirt path towards
Follows
their pool.
Yes.
Okay.
John
Yeah.
Marley just takes off running down the dirt path.
All right. So the Vistani, as they see you go, maybe one of them turns around and says to you, "There's nothing down there at the pool. It is dead. It ends at the water. It is a dead end. You will not be able to get anywhere if you head that way. It is not safe as well to head out at night. I do not think it would be a good idea for you to do that."
John Marley runs back out of the darkness and says, "All right, which way then? Which way? Where should we go?"
And what would you suggest?
Well, stay here with us. Have a good time. Have some more drink. The night is young and the campfire is bright.
I think we'll take a look at these pools.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on a prophetic mission from Lady Eva. So, Madame Eva. I'm sorry.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you. Okay. So are we heading off to the west?
Yes. At a
We
trot.
are.
So you trot away, and as you leave the campfire behind, the sun has set, and Ismark trots up to Lord Talfrin, and he says, "I understand, of course, we had to leave the Vistani camp, but I do not think it is safe to be travelling at night time. It is not safe to be out here at all in the dark, but perhaps there's a way we could hide ourselves away so that we do not bring any attention to ourselves."
Like lie on the ground and cover ourselves in leaves? Is that what you're suggesting? Where can we hide?
I think if we go to the pool, so maybe we can camp
Hide
in
in the pool.
surrounding forest, John.
Oh, okay.
Well, if we get to the pools and encounter trouble, we won't be in a condition to face it. We're all too depleted.
Oh, sorry. We can. You can say that the time that you are spending hanging out at the campfire, we can count that as a short rest. So if anyone wanted to roll any hit dice, you can do that. You don't regain any spells or anything like that. But if anyone needs to roll any hit dice, you could use that short rest.
I don't think we're injured, just other than those 5 permanent losses.
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I am.
I don't remember.
Lord Talfrin's going to look around and see if he spots an inviting cave with a conveniently placed natural barbican.
Do you want to take a survival check?
Yeah. 5 plus 2 is a 7.
So you search for a bit and you can't find anything. It's too dark and the land's too unfamiliar. There's nothing nearby that jumps out as a particularly defendable position.
Does anybody else want to take a gander?
I would,
Sure,
but
I will. I will.
I didn't see my character sheet anymore.
Oh,
so
you're sitting in the darkness.
I am.
That's very
I'm really
apropos.
role playing. This is like live action.
Yeah.
Darkness is upon me. I've been seeing bats and there's rabbits here and everything.
You can hear the sheep.
How can you see the die when you roll them?
Well, I've got an app, so
Oh.
So I rolled a 5, which I believe means I left my glasses at home.
Yep.
And home is a very long way away.
Yes, it is.
Anyone else?
Okay. So,
I rolled an 8.
okay.
So,
Yeah, you're all definitely feeling you're out of your depth here. You're well into the wilderness, and there's just nothing other than you've got the river on your right as you're walking. You know that the Vistani camp is somewhere in the distance. Perhaps off to the west, you can hear the sound of falling water. It sounds like there's a large waterfall somewhere off to the west in the distance. But you can't see anything. It's so dark, even with any illuminated axes.
Well, I don't think we're illuminating axes because that's the quickest way to draw.
Okay, probably a good idea. You are starting to get tired, though.
It's a 1 hour walk.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Well, I guess since we can't find even like a rotten tree trunk to lie under.
Okay.
We should just continue plodding along till we find either the pools or some other place.
Okay. So guys, we continue following the river. As you move, you can see the around you, sort of the cliff walls rise up. You realise that the river has carved like a large canyon out of the land here. So cliffs sort of rise above you as you move off to the west, and you come to the end of this dirt path. Sort of open. It basically comes into this large pool, and so it would be you can't tell actually how big it is because of the darkness, and there's no. The moon is not clear tonight. It's all clouded over. You certainly know, for example, it is the pool in front of you is greater in size than the village of Barovia because you cannot see the other end of it from the eastern edge that you're standing upon. You can hear a large waterfall off to the west, but you can't see any evidence of it just because of the darkness of the night. So it's quite noisy where you are now. Other than that, though, other than the tall cliffs around you and the fact that you know you're at the edge of the water, you really can't make anything out in the murky darkness.
So we stay here?
We do new survival checks to find some nice camp spots close by.
We'll say that your previous survival checks are continuing to show your level of expertise. So, you could. There's a log here by the side of the pool. You could certainly make camp, but it's you wouldn't be particularly proud of, of what you've done here and setting up any fortifications.
People used to throw roses at me. They gave me wine. How have I come to this place, this wretched, wretched place? All right, so there's a nice bramble over here. I guess I'll lie down and pray for death.
And then Ismark, again, Lord Talfrin, he seems to have decided upon you as the sort of leadership figure here of the group, and he comes to you and he says, are we to rest here tonight then? No judgment on his face, he is just looking for information.
I look helplessly around the rest of the group and I say, well, we're exhausted, we can't find any other place. Can't see you or what's going on here in the pool, so we might as well wait here for daylight.
I suggest that we get as much rest as we can, and we should definitely have a sentry.
Okay. As soon as you say that, Irina steps forward and she says, Master Sonna and I shall take first watch.
Well.
Very well. I immediately lie down, pull my cloak over my head, and try and sleep.
Look, would you maybe shoot a firebolt at something that is, preferably it can burn?
But that would draw everyone's attention from all across the lake.
But I don't have night vision, so we're just gonna. Okay, no, it's cool. You don't have to, I'm perfectly okay. I can just stand around in the dark and.
I can make lots and lots of campfires. There's no limit to how many campfires I can make. But we're at the bank of a huge lake. We burn a merry fire, then all the pleasant Ravenloftian creatures who are skulking in the woods looking for trouble are going to start skulking in our direction. Don't you think?
I do think that you have a point, but I don't know if we'll be able to. It works in both ways, is what I'm saying.
Are we in a canyon? Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. From what you can.
So wouldn't that conceal a small fire? Can't she? If she would like if she's staying awake, I'm going to bed in the bramble, and I say if she wants a fire, she can have it. And if we die in our sleep, thank God. That's what I say.
I would certainly feel better with some light to watch with, as Irina speaking. Well,
I do greatly enjoy Schadenfreude. So, yes, I will light us a campfire. If you will gather some branches.
Okay.
Once they do, I hit it with 7 or 8 firebolts.
Okay.
Light it up.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's crackling merrily, I turn gravely to my companions and I say, let us pray this is not too eventful a watch.
Okay.
Stare pointedly at Master Sonna, and then I pull my cloak back over my head and go hide behind a log.
Okay. So, is everyone else heading off for we lie down? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'm gonna scoot a little bit back away from the edge of the pool.
Ismark, Master Sonna, Ismark walks over to you. Irina's right beside you, and he lays his hand on your shoulder and he says, "You will take care of her, and let me know if anything happens that you need my attention for."
Yes, I give you my word.
Okay, let's see. Nods. He seems a bit unsure, but he relents and he goes off and cozies up beside the fire and nods off. So What are you doing when you're on watch?
I have a sense of foreboding that Irina was probably going to try and talk with me. It's my womanly intuition.
And she does, absolutely. When the others sort of, pull themselves up to the campfire and do whatever they're doing, she stands over. She sort of stands with her back to the fire, with her back to the brother and her brother, and she says, not while looking at you, while looking out into the darkness, she says, I spoke to the big one, Kellen.
Yes.
He said he thought that you could teach me.
What would you like to be taught?
And she pulls out the knife that Jean gave her from her belt, and she says, "This I do not know. Ismark and my father they never let me learn how to defend myself, but I want to. The next time I know Strad will come for me again, and I do not want to just stand there and let him do whatever he wants. I want to fight back, but I do not know how."
I totally understand. So the pointy end goes into.
I know what the pointy end is supposed to do.
Well then that's great. Then you already have the basics down.
Is this enough? Is this thing? And she looks at the dagger. None of the rest of you have anything like this. The big man, Kellen, he has his axe, and the fireballs, I do not understand them at all. But you have a sword. Is a dagger really going to protect me against Strad, the devil, when he returns?
I will be honest with you, because lying is not in my nature. We have fought against Doru, the vampire.
Yes. In
the Church of the Morning Lord, and none of our weapons could make any sort of lasting damage.
But so, you fought against him. You cut him?
I did several times.
I want to be able to do that. Can you teach me?
I can teach you the basics, but whether they will be effective, I do not want to give you hope where there might not be any.
Okay, let us try. What should I do?
So she takes up a pose, with her basic stance.
Okay.
And says, this is the basic motion.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we...
And then a training montage.
Sure. Yeah, so, like you can tell, she has no experience with this whatsoever. But what you can tell is that she definitely has a drive for it. Certainly, she's very passionate, and even when you start being a wee bit rougher with her, that doesn't seem to put her off. And you can tell there's a bit of talent there as well. It's something that she is taking to naturally. So, if you maybe spend an hour off the watch time sort of doing this, you figure that she. I don't know whether it was sticks. Have you got two swords?
I think I have, because I had my original sword and then we picked up another one.
Yeah, whatever it is that you have been training with, you do get the impression that she's, even with this short amount of time that you spent with her, she is more competent now than when you first started, and you definitely get the impression that if she continued with regular training, she could definitely make something of herself. As a swords person.
Oh, that's awesome.
So she's...
Because we need all the help we can get.
So she is... at the end of it, Irina sort of throws herself to the ground. I think it's the first time you can see, the shadow of a smile across her face, and she brushes some of the her hair off her sort of sweaty forehead, and she says, "Thank you. Do you think soon I will be ready to fight like you do?"
I think with regular training, you will definitely be able to defend yourself. I don't know if it's going to help against Strahd himself.
Yes, but his minions, perhaps if they come for me, perhaps
you can definitely do some damage. So
when can I have
the basics now?
When can I have my own sword?
Whenever we have enough money to buy magical weapons, you can all the swords and daggers you want.
And you will tell Ismark that I should have one.
I will definitely have a word with your brother, because I think you have an innate talent, and in my world, talent goes over gender. So perhaps I can persuade your brother that this world isn't so different from my own.
Okay. You can see that again, a wee glimmer of hope in her eye, but she quickly turns away from you and she says, I'm sure our watch is ended now. Perhaps we should wake one of the others. I need to rest.
Our watch is ended.
Who's up next, guys?
I'll go.
Okay.
You going alone?
Yes.
No.
I'll stay up with you.
No, that's quite all right.
No,
I
we haven't had a chance.
I insist that
We
you
have
get your
so
beauty
much
sleep.
Well, I thought
It looks
I
like
couldn't
you've put on
possibly get more
20
lovely.
pounds.
So Irina and
Sure.
Marsona go to sleep. What are you guys up to?
I'm
I just
trying
want
to
to
convince him to lie down.
I want to ask you
Lie
a
down.
question, a sincere question. What are the
Push him
chances
by the fork.
that we'll ever actually go home? Like, should we make retirement plans here? Is this truly my second act, or is this a bad dream? I mean, you're a wizard. You fire bolts and such. You must know something.
Well, Lord Tuffin smooths down his large walrus mustache and stares into the fire, ruining his night vision as he does. And well, I fear that we won't be getting out of here until we have dealt with Strahd.
Yes.
And that will no doubt be an epic undertaking.
Right.
We may not survive. So, in short, I do not see us escaping anytime soon, if ever.
Well, that's what I thought. I was afraid that was the case. As one magician to another, I mean, I think I can call myself a magician now. I do magic, apparently. It's do you have any tips? Maybe you can teach me how to do that fire thing. That would be useful. I mean, I don't know if you saw, but back there with the pointy teeth fella, I just called him names, and it didn't seem to hurt his feelings much. So it'd be helpful, if I could throw something of substance.
Yes, well, where I come from, those who are able to wield the power of the Black Gate do so from an innate talent. It's something that manifests within you over time.
Yes.
Have you ever felt?
Yes.
Have you ever felt a sort of a calling towards something greater? A sense or a premonition that you were meant for larger things than others?
It sounds like you're describing my calling to the stage, and that is where I have felt the most power in my life and felt the most alive. So but I know I never felt the call to shoot fire or anything like that. That would have been nice.
Lord Tuffin puts a hand on your shoulder and says, well, then you must take that power that has been given to you, walking the boards, and weaponize it. Only then will you realize your true destiny and become, and he kind of gazes off into the darkness and extends his hand, the hero of legend.
I like the sound of that. I do like the sound of that. Can I have some? What are you smoking there in that pipe? That smells tasty. What is that?
This? Oh, he takes it and looks at it. He says, unfortunately, I've been reduced to moss. I've been scraping off logs at this point. Didn't have my tobacco.
Yes,
didn't know that I was going. It's actually, if you put some of this peaty stuff that I've scraped out from under the log here, it gives it a good. Here, look, smell.
I'm all right. I'm all right now that I've. Yeah,
it's blow a plume of smoke right into your face. Like,
oh well, it is redolent of the earth, isn't it? It's quite strong. It's a strong.
Yeah. Here, and I give you the pipe.
So, well, we might as well give it a shot. Maybe you'll make me a wizard.
As you guys are having this endearing moment, you realise that morning is breaking. Obviously, with the two watches that have gone on, the sun is actually beginning to rise now. I think we've established before in Barovia, you cannot see the sun at all, but you can just tell that the sky is becoming a lighter grey as opposed to black. And as you guys mess around with the pipes, you realise visibility has gotten good enough to the stage where you can actually make out a lot more of your surroundings. It's still ridiculously early morning. But so what you can see now, guys, is that you are indeed at the edge of this pool, and it's not much bigger than what you were able to see last night. So about roughly the size of the small village of Barovia at the western end of the pool that you're at. As I said, the pool is covered and surrounded by these cavern edges, but on the western side of it, it does have these large waterfalls spilling into the pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist. High above you, about almost 1,000 feet overhead at the very top of the canyon, there's a great stone bridge spanning the canyon.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.